You've matched with someone. You've texted back and forth for weeks. Maybe you even went on a date. And somewhere in the middle of all that, something happened that you can't explain. You started thinking about them constantly. That's love. Or at least, that's what we call it now. But for 99% of human history, there were no dating apps, no restaurants, no flowers you could order online. So how did it actually happen? How did ancient humans fall in love? The answer is stranger, deeper, and more powerful than anything you'd expect.
Let's start with what science actually knows. Love isn't a feeling. Not really. It's a biological system. Your brain on love looks almost identical to your brain on cocaine. In 2005, anthropologist Helen Fisher at Rutgers University put people who were deeply in love inside an MRI machine. What she found was remarkable. The brain's reward system, specifically the ventral tegmental area, flooded with dopamine. Not the gentle warmth you'd expect from something called love, a hard, urgent, almost desperate surge. The same circuits that fire when someone is addicted to a drug. Fisher's conclusion was blunt. Romantic love is not an emotion. It's a drive, like hunger, like thirst. It evolved because it worked.
Now, here's the part that changes everything. That drive didn't appear 500 years ago, or 5,000 years ago. Evidence suggests it's been with us for at least 10,000 years, and almost certainly much longer. In 2007, archaeologists excavating a site in northern Italy discovered two skeletons, buried together, face to face, arms wrapped around each other. They had been lying that way for roughly 6,000 years. Researchers at the University of Pavia confirmed they were a young man and a young woman. No tools, no weapons, no grave goods, just each other. Whoever buried them understood that what those two people had was worth preserving, even in death.
But love is one thing. How did it begin? How did two people, with no words like, I like you, and no way to send a message, actually find each other? The answer starts with the body. Humans are one of the only species on Earth that mates face to face. Anthropologists believe this is not a coincidence. Face-to-face contact creates emotional bonding in a way that rear-mounted mating in other primates simply does not. You see the other person's eyes. You read their expression. You share a moment of recognition. That recognition, that specific feeling of being seen by another human, is thought to be one of the earliest triggers of pair bonding in our species. Then there's smell. And this is where it gets fascinating. In 1995, Swiss biologist Klaus Wedekind ran what became known as the sweaty t-shirt study. He had men wear plain white t-shirts for 2 days straight. No deodorant, no cologne. Then he had women smell each shirt and rate the attractiveness of the scent. The results were not random. Women consistently preferred the scent of men whose immune system genes, called MHC genes, were most different from their own. Not the best-looking men, not the tallest men, the men whose biology complemented theirs most completely. Your nose, it turns out, is doing a genetic compatibility test every time you get close to someone. And it's been doing that for hundreds of thousands of years. Ancient humans didn't have candlelit dinners, but they had firelight. And that matters more than you think. Research published in the journal Evolution and Human Behavior found that both men and women rate faces as significantly more attractive in warm, dim light. The campfire, the same campfire where stories were told and culture was born, was also the original romantic setting. Every night, for thousands of years, people sat close together in that warm glow, their faces soft, their voices low, their guards down. It is almost impossible to design better conditions for falling in love. And here's something researchers didn't expect. Ancient humans also used art, not to impress strangers on a profile, to signal.
In 2010, archaeologists found shell beads at sites across Africa dating back 130,000 years, carefully perforated, likely worn as personal ornaments. Researchers at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology concluded that these ornaments were almost certainly used as social signals, communicating identity, status, and availability. The oldest jewelry in human history wasn't fashion. It was a dating strategy. But what actually made love last? In hunter-gatherer bands of 20 to 50 people, you couldn't just disappear after a bad match. You saw the same people every single day. Anthropologist Kim Sterliny argues that this tight social structure actually selected for emotional bonding over time, because betrayal had real consequences. If you abandoned a partner or a child, the entire group knew. Your reputation, your survival, depended on being trustworthy. Love wasn't just romantic, it was social glue. It held the band together. So here is what we actually know. Ancient humans fell in love through proximity, living, hunting, surviving together, through scent, biology silently selecting for genetic compatibility, through eye contact and face-to-face recognition, something uniquely human, through firelight, the original atmosphere of intimacy, and through ornament and signal, the oldest form of attraction we know of. None of it was random. All of it was deeply biologically real. None of it was random. All of it was deeply biologically real. The apps have changed. The setting has changed. But the circuitry hasn't. When you feel that pull toward another person, that specific, unexplainable certainty, you are running the same program your ancestors ran around a fire 100,000 years ago, in the dark, with everything on the line. You didn't invent falling in love. You inherited it.